So, yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is probably the first really big game out of all the really big games that are coming out between now and Christmas. And I just thought I'd give a quick first impressions of it. I'm only probably just over an hour into the game. I've just arrived in London and, of course, already bumped into Charles Dickens, as you do. He appears to be writing one of his books, and of course he's lost some pages which I will probably then have to run around London trying to find. But anyway, I mean, first impressions, well, what can you say? I was one of the lucky people who played Unity last year and didn't suffer with any of the bugs that supposedly the game had. I didn't find the in-game microtransactions particularly annoying, and I actually really liked the game. I was a massive fan of Black Flag, which was actually the first Assassin's Creed game that I've really enjoyed. I always found them a bit dull, to be honest, but Black Flag, just that whole pirate lunacy stuff was really appealing. And then when Unity came out, it was it felt like a kind of refinement of the formula that they've been trying to get right in earlier games, and they finally had the whole city stuff. I thought it was, you know, one of the, I mean, it's still one of the best looking games of this generation so far. But I have to say, I haven't been looking forward to Syndicate. I wish they'd come up with better names for these games. Unity, Syndicate. I have to pause and try and think which one I'm talking about each time. So yeah, I've not been looking forward to Syndicate because it looked like yet another city. I mean, there's part of it for me that makes me think, oh, it's London. You know, I am a Londoner. I'm not a Cockney, before you say anything. I don't talk like a Cockney, but I am a Londoner, and I love London, and I'm a complete history geek, which is quite remarkable given that I actually got an E in my history O-level back when I was at school. So yeah, you know, and that's part of it for me with these games, is that, yeah, they're so well researched, and even if they do take some liberties, you know, there's inevitably in Victorian London, in Syndicate, a degree of steampunkery going on. I mean, already in the opening hour, there's been some bloke doing an experiment with electricity, which of course explodes and destroys a warehouse which you have to escape from. So yeah, I like that. I like that aspect of just wandering around the city and kind of soaking up the atmosphere, and thus far I'm enjoying that in Syndicate. But beyond that, it feels like, well, it's much like Unity. They've got this slightly new idea of splitting you between two characters, a brother and a sister. Inevitably, the girl is slightly better at stealth. The boy is better at punching people in the face. So that's kind of new. As we go on, apparently there's some sort of element of gathering gangs together. We know this because the boy character Jacob hasn't shut up about it so far. Oh, I'm going to form a gang called the Rooks, and his sister constantly goes, "You're not forming a gang called the Rooks," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm so going to form a gang called the Rooks." And oh, look, there's Charles Dickens. Anyway, so yeah, thus far, what do I like? It looks gorgeous. I mean, they've got the whole grimy industrial revolution look down to a T. Weirdly, the game starts in Croydon, so that's the bulk of the first hour, with you wandering around steel mills and jumping around on the backs of steam trains. I mean, it's weird that the game's it's so realistic looking in so many ways, and then yet you're kind of running around these factories and cutting people's necks open, and you know, half the people in the factory are just turning a complete blind eye to you, or at most cowering in a corner. So yeah, what else? I'm sick of looting bodies, you know, in these games. I just don't want to do it anymore. Can we just go back to being able to run over a corpse and automatically pick up everything they've got? You know, it's not a question of, ooh, do I want their stuff or not? Of course I do. I want their money. I want their spare throwing knives. I want their ammunition. There is, I've seen in the skills tree that comes later on, an ability to automatically loot the people you've just assassinated, but, you know, just make it a default. No one likes it, you know. Similarly, okay, they've thrown in some degree of story there. I don't know what's going on. I don't really care what's going on. There's some sort of quest for an artifact in the Victorian sections. Of course, this being Assassin's Creed, there are sections set in the near future as well, which, again, I don't care what's going on. I don't know what's going on. There's some kind of industrial espionage plot. I'm not interested. I don't know if I'm supposed to have remembered stuff from the previous Assassin's Creed games. I don't care. Let's just pretend all of that future stuff never happened and we're playing a game that's set in the past now. So anyway, they're my initial impressions. I'll keep up updating these and do some more over the weekend as I play it a bit more, but first impressions, yeah, very pretty, feels like an Assassin's Creed game, probably too similar to Unity, and yeah, sick of looting corpses, and I don't care about the story. So once I've had an explore of London, I'll post another video up. Okay, cheers, bye.